On this sixth Sunday of Christmas, my demo shared with me a cute little ornament treat holder. Let's see how to make this. We're going to begin with a piece of real red cardstock that measures 8 inches by 5 1/4. Bringing in my Simply Scored tool, I'm going to place the long edge up against the top ruler and take my stylus. I prefer the smaller point, and we'll score at 1/2 inch, 2 1/4, 4 inches, 5 3/4, and 7 1/2. And then we're going to rotate it 90 degrees, and we will score at 1 3/4. Oops. Now let me show you what happens, how you can fix that. 1 3/4 and 3 1/2. Now if that slip happens, and you see it on the other side, it really won't show on this particular one, but just go on the reverse and color it in with your stylus, and it puts it back so that it's not really noticeable. All right, now that we have this, we're going to see these, we have some skinny rectangles on the edges here, and we're going to cut those off. So we're cutting off 4. There's 1, 2, 3, and we are not mitering here. We're just cutting it off. I like to cut off the score line. It does have a thickness, so cutting it off makes sense. All right. Now that we have that, I've gone ahead and taken some Designer Series paper, and this is from the Painted Christmas Designer Series paper. It was available last year, and it was a returning favorite this year. I'm going to use this holly and pine bow pattern, and we are going to adhere. I think I need 9. No, I need 8. I just need these ones right here, and then I need 1 right here, and it looks like I am short 1. I'm going to come in and just cut it again. These measure 1 5/8. So just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the squares around it. So we're going to adhere those in those 8 squares. I like to use the green glue because I want good coverage in all of these. We will be cutting some off a little bit later. And so we want to make sure that the whole thing is stuck down. Just use your score lines as a guide. And I'll speed this up so you don't have to watch me glue all 8 pieces in real time. And it looks like I did have an extra piece after all, so there must have been 2 stuck together. I'm going to bring my scissors in, and I'm going to cut up on the long edge right up to that first score line. And I'm cutting in between these on the score line as well. Again, right up to that first horizontal score line that I see. And I'm going to rotate it and do the same thing over here. All right, now we need to burnish on all our lines. Nice, crisp folds are how boxes are made or broken. All right. So now we are going to take these pieces and we're going to form them almost like we're making a complete box. We're going to apply some adhesive. Again, we want to apply it all the way around and in the middle. Fold it over, square up that side. Now I've got a little oozing out. I got a little heavy-handed. Just get my hands clean by taking a baby wipe. Got it handy. There we go. Dry them off on my pants. All right. Do the same thing with this square right here. So you want to get it up to the edge a little bit, but not too much because you don't want it squeezing out everywhere. Square that up. Okay, now this next step works better if you have longer scissors. I don't have longer good scissors. You can use a ruler and a pencil if you would like. This point right here where they separate, that's where you're working from. I'm going to draw a line to cut on that goes from corner to corner. You really want these to be pretty straight so that the box goes together. And again, I'm working from this center point right here, diagonal to diagonal. That's going to give me a cutting line. You can freehand it. Now I found the best way to cut this is to actually fold this bottom back together, and then I'm going to cut right on that line. You're cutting through 2 layers of cardstock and a layer of DSP, so it will take a little bit of muscle. Oop, I didn't draw the lines on the other side yet. Same thing, I'm going to put those bottoms together and then cut right along this line. You can eyeball it if you want to, but it really does need to be straight because they're going to be coming together like that. So if you use a pencil, you just want to make sure you erase that edge because you may or may not have cut exactly on it. So same thing on the other side. Here's my pivot point. And here's my pivot point. And we're going to cut again. Put them back. If you don't put it back like this, it's really hard to get your scissors in there. And one last side. Okay. So this is going to go together like this. And so if it's a little bit off, it's not a big deal because this is the front and the back. but you do want the sides to go together as nicely as possible. And I can see my pencil lines. So I just want to make sure I erase those. Keep the edges as clean as possible. In order to hang this from a tree, we need a little hanger, so we'll need a little loop. I'm going to go ahead, and you can round these corners if you want to. I have an old corner rounder, but of course this isn't going to work because it's put together. So you can round these corners, but if you're going to round these corners, you need to round them before you put the box together. You can do it this way. I might not even round it. I might just notch it a little bit, and I try to make them the same on both sides. And then if you put these two together, you can see you can just cut the other side to match. This gives it a little bit of a softer edge here. I don't want to glue this shut because then how are we going to get the candy that's, or treats or whatever is inside? I'm going to keep it like this together, and I'm going to punch 2 holes roughly about the same distance from the edge apart. Okay. You can fill this after you've got everything put together. Let's see, what are we going to use for ribbon? We could use this gold ribbon. That would be nice. We could also use this ribbon, but because it's a dark green, it might not show as nicely on the tree. So let's go ahead and use the gold. I'm going to make the ends a little bit easier to thread, so put it on a diagonal. Put it through one side, the other hole. I'm going to come back through over here. All right. I want to hang it, but I also want a bow. So here's my little hanger. So I'm just stretching that out. I'm going to tie a bow down here with what's left. You know how I love to tie bows on camera. We'll see if we can make my thumbs work. Where's the other edge there? There we go. I needed to make this a little bit longer for my ribbon, I think, but I'm making it work. Okay, just play with the ends until you get them to go how you want them to go. And then we have our little hanging container. How do you fill it when it's closed like this? Well, you simply open it up, put your treats in it, and pull this back closed. If you would like to personalize this, you could put the initials of a child or grandchild on here. You could write, punch out a little circle with a white gel pen, write their name on it, all sorts of ideas. But that is our cute little Christmas ornament treat holder. And this is our 6th Sunday of Christmas.